Alright, welcome back. Just finished up issue 8 here. Clean that off. And that's the Necron Overlord. See, we've got his arm glued on, nice and good there. Just got to let it dry for a bit. Cloak looks really nice, and that trick of the foot, arm, leg gluing together worked out pretty well. So this guy is ready to go. Got to get him cleaned up, get all that oil off from the fingers and the mold. So then I can make him silver like the rest of these guys that I finished off. Alright, so we'll put him aside because now it's time for Space Marine Librarian and Phobos armor. So we've got, it's like a couple of small, kind of fiddly pieces. We'll have to be careful. Everything's like wrapped in a cloak, so that'll be just great fun. Especially when it comes time to paint. He's got little thingies in there. That's cool. I love librarians. They're just really cool. I love the psychic phase and all. So get that out of the way here. I brought the good book just to kind of go through and talk a little bit about him. It looks pretty easy. Got a leg and like two huge pieces, front, back, go together. Head, arm, shoulder pad. It's like another arm to do his little psychic dealy. So yeah, it looks pretty straightforward. I don't think there's any gotchas there. So let's take a look and see here what we've got. Librarians, of course, librarians are going to have, they're going to be on the psychic phase. Let's see. So I think he's got a special, yeah, he's got a special, got the old shorty librarian. Got the Primaris Librarian, and then we get the Primaris Librarian in Phobos armor, so you can see there. And we got the Shorty Librarian and Terminator, and so that's it. So he's got, yeah, pretty much what he's got here: bolt pistol, force sword, camo cloak. It's a nice -3 AP on the force sword, and they've got, yeah, the psychic hood, very nice. Get to add 1 to deny the witch, and if Dark Angel, he becomes Deathwing. So they get 2 psychic powers, and can deny 1. They know smite, and the obscuration discipline. So they get the Phobos keyword. And that comes, he's got his little camo cloak you can see here. So yeah, pretty cool. So let's put that back and see what we can do here. So we got our trusty snippers again from Citadel. They actually have a, yeah, theirs are starting to rust too, so oh well. They also tell you to look out for certain areas for mold line. But right now we want, I think it's the back, yeah, 1 and foot 2. So be careful. Remember, get the flat part against the actual fig you're cutting out. Sometimes you're going to want to flip it around. Make sure you're cutting what you want to cut. There, just 3 pieces. Wow. Right, yeah, 3 pieces for that big thing and 3 pieces for the little tiny foot. So that's great. Oh yeah, be careful. What is that? It's weird. Oh, so there's a little tab here on his foot to go into the tab here on his little stonework base. So be careful. You want that tab there. So just clip and a little bit there. So that, yeah, when you're done, you're going to have a little bump on his foot, but that you want to have. So got the scriber here. Clean that off. Want to make sure it fits flat and flush into there. Fun. Alright, so there's a little divot there and a little thing there, so that's telling me it goes right there. And let me see what else. So it looks like there's a, yeah, so there's a little bit on this other cape Yep, there's his knee pad. Alright, I was a little confused. Yeah, so that does slide up in there pretty well. Like that. Alright, so that'll fit good. Just clean up our connecting points here. On the back. There's probably a old line right on his gun there, the connection point. Looks like we might be able to... Yeah, there, that's not bad. Squeeze a little bit off there. Make it a little easier. Remember, you want to... It's good to scrape from different angles. Looks like he's got a little bit of trim detail around there, so don't scrape too far down, otherwise you'll lose it. Just a little bit on his shoulder there, the cloak. Just a touch. Just get rid of the line. The purity seal, and here's the other connector on the shoulder. The mold lines are basically on the edges of the cape. That makes it real nice. Yep, that's looking good. Alright, let's get some glue on there. As you can tell, we've graduated from push fit to all these models are going to start needing glue, I guess. So, congratulations. And I hope you found some good glue that you like. Like I said, you don't want super glue, not good, bad. Use it for one thing and one thing only, and we've discussed it before. And we'll discuss it again at the end of every model. Get the glue into the base. As I hold this here, I like this orange. I don't even know who makes it. Plastruck. I don't know if that's a company name. Yeah, I guess so. Plastruck in Des Plaines, Illinois. It's not bad, and it's pretty cheap too. I found it at a local hobby store. I do like, there it is, the Tamiya Extra Thin. I really like this, but it's really hard to find. It's just got a much smaller applicator. I know you've probably heard me say it before, but that smaller applicator does make a bit of difference when you're making figs like this. It really is nice. So now it's 3, which is going to be the front piece of his body. And there's our knee pad, so be careful. Oh boy, yeah, I guess come across. And then his foot, real nice, just 3 points. Makes it easy to clean. And that's going to be, I'm guessing, flat on the base, so just make sure you get it nice and flat on the bottom. It'll glue up nice. Oh, and that probably will be hidden by his head, his helmet. A little extra snip there. Yeah, just snip the chunk. So hopefully that is covered by his helmet. And here the knee, looks like there's connection we got to clean off and a little bit of mold around. A little bit of mold right up straight through here, but that actually, is that supposed to be there? No? No, it doesn't look like it. Okay. It looked pretty hefty. But yeah, that's not supposed to be there, so trim it out. A little bit on this round part. Little ankle guard or something, I don't know. Yeah. There we go. Now let's just try and fit him on there. Sure we know. Yeah, that'll be hidden in the back there. Sweet. And his kneecap matches up real well. Need to trim that down a little bit. Not trim, but sand that down. Looks like... Oh, I see what they did with the strap there. That's nice. Nicely done. Now we do have... Looks like we're going to have a mold line there where the cape comes, so you're going to want to make sure you get glue on that, a little extra, and then you'll be able to trim it off with the scriber, and it'll make it look real nice. So let's just start there. There, and a little extra right down through there, and hit these points right here, right around his shoulder, and then right here on his thigh, and then do the same things over here. Here's his shoulder, and his thigh right here, and yeah, let's hit the back of his head there. Little dab to make sure we're connecting everywhere. There you go. Alright, well, we'll hold this for a little bit and be back in a minute. Alright, so I got him drying over here off camera a little bit. The clothespin jerk is not going to work. His chest is way too thick. And what I did too is, just to help seal that cape up, I came in underneath and just put a little dab of glue in there. That should help keep it together. So we'll continue working on 5 and 7, which is his cowled head and his sword arm. So there's 5. 1 connection, nice. 7, they've got 3. That's not too bad. We'll start on the shoulder. Hit the blade as well, and then the wrist guard. There. Should come out really nice. So we know he's got a shoulder pad coming on here, but just want to scrape that down a little bit so it doesn't affect the placement of the shoulder pad. Otherwise you'll be upset, trust me, because it just won't sit right. A little bit on the wrist guard there. And nice and easy on the sword. Just kind of back and forth a little bit to cross the bendy part of his elbow, the inside. That's looking better. And I figured that's going to be fun. At least there's no folds in that area, so you know it just needs to be smoothed out and flattened out. There's also a mold line right around there. And it goes right across the top of his head, down the other side, but they were nice enough to not put any folds right there. So just kind of feather it out. Good as gold. Alright, so we'll come back, let this thing dry a little bit more over here, and we'll pop those on real quick. Alrighty, we're back. So I just plopped his head in here. It's really easy. There's a nice groove to just throw that in there and it looks real good. He's looking up to his right, so looks real well. And what I did, and what I do sometimes is, like when you've got a long line like this with this cloak, I'll just take a little bit of glue, get it on the brush, and just like paint it down. And what that does, hopefully, is that's going to seal that in there. And what I do too is really lightly with the scriber is just to kind of go over it. I know it's a little hard on this guy. Just light like that. And what that's going to do is hopefully really hide that seam there. So yeah, it's really hard to see that now. A little, I don't think the sanding stick's not even going to fit in there. We can get the edge here. Sometimes you move the sanding stick, sometimes you move the fig. Yeah, that'll look real good. Alright, so next is his arm. Got it nice and done, well done there. To get it in the right place. Because that shoulder pad's going to come in. The shoulder pad's got to fit around the backpack and all that, so it does point downward pretty much too. You can see there. So get this in position to glue it. But there, sure you get that whole protrudence and get in there, as well as the flat part. And just made it up. Hold it for a second. I usually like to wiggle it around a little bit just to make sure that it's seated where it needs to be. And just hold it, and it's good. So that's made up with the backpack here. It's coming on pretty soon. So yeah, he stands up pretty well on his own. So next is, alright, let's see, we got 4 and 6 and 8. Yeah, so 5 was his head. 4, 6, 8. I'll be right back. So let's see, yeah, 4 is going to be pretty small, his arm, and just his shoulder pad. Pretty easy, we're almost done. There's 6. Snip that. And then just his wrist guard, his glove. I guess it's a glove. There's 4, which is going to be the base he's standing on. Easy peasy. And 8. So we got a little bit of cloak there again. So make sure you're right up against it. Again here too, right up against that pauldron. So let's see, what do we do first? Let's do the easy part first. It's all kind of a rock base. So be where his foot is, so shouldn't be too bad. Looks like it's got a little bullet hole. Scrape a little this way, scrape a little that way. Easy peasy. Let's just go ahead and throw them on here. Let's see. Make sure we get it set and right. I think both feet are going to be on here. So yeah, so that foot fits in there. Yep, both feet go on there. Pretty good. I don't see any issues. So it's like the back heel toe and the back heel. Gonna be where we're gonna want to apply glue. And then that little divot there, you can kind of see the outline of this heel. So let's see, there's the toe and the heel. And good to go. Kind of hold that down for a second. The nice thing about this plastic cement, it's opposed to some of that plastic glue. Especially I remember making model airplanes. That stuff was so sticky. It got everywhere, all over your hands. Left marks everywhere, but this stuff it's just freaking amazing. Whoa, that was close. So yeah, much better experience trying to get all this stuff glued in well. So we've got, yeah, right there. A little back and forth. I think there was a little bit of mold line there too. That came off pretty easy. And the elbow, there's usually a bit of a line there on an elbow. We'll take that off. There we go. Right there in his arm. Clear that off. Much better. Let's see where this guy goes. You know, there's a little mark there, and there's a little mark like on the outside of his arm. Okay. I think I see that going in there. Yep, should sit just like that, up by his head. Like he's thinking real hard. Little dab of glue. Little dab of glue there. Ah. And there you go. Oh, looks like it's a little off. Nope, nope, that's right where it belongs. Nice. There he is, thinking hard. Thinking hard with that smite coming down. Okay, 8, I noticed. Yeah, that is pretty nasty right there. All right. That was pretty easy. Probably a mold line right around in there too. Okay, then just under the pauldron there, where it was connected. Looking good. I noticed, yeah, there's a little oval indentation, a little oval here, so we'll utilize that so we know where to get our glue going. Light touch there, light touch there. And then pop it down. Yeah, that went in there real well. Looks like now it's just his book and his backpack. Ooh, wow. Yeah, careful, careful, careful. I'd go in from the bottom there, just a little snip. That's all you need. There's the bigger one. This just has 2 across the top. I'll be sanding and scribing those down. This always leaves a bad mark because it's a rounded area that it's connecting to. It's always pretty bad. But it wasn't too bad though. A little sand. That really should be it. Yeah, let's just pop that on. Backpacks are the easiest thing to do. It's always some little point where you connect it to. So now this book. Okay. See what they did there. Put the connecting point on like the binding. It's coming around. Smart choice. And then just remember you can use pressure and like 1 or 2 scribes, I don't know what you want to call them, or you can use like just a little bit of pressure and do it a couple of times. And that's going to give you better outcomes when you've got something really thin like that bookmark there. And this is going to connect in. There's a little divot in the back of the book. Front of the book has a buckle. Back of the book has a divot. And that should fit right around, yep, right in the middle of his back on his belt. He has the opposite of a divot. A dovet. I don't know what it's called. And basically just drop it in place. Lay him down. If I give it a little rock it a little bit. There we go. Feel it's in there. And then just hold it for a bit. And this guy's done. Alright, that's all been glued in. And so now the last step, the secret of basing plastic minis, is a little bit of super glue. I like my Gorilla gel. Just drop 2 little drops on the base there. Just like one here, because it's gel, it'll set up real well. Let's put one there. Don't want too much because you want to actually be able to take this off. Just hold it there, but let that guy like glue overnight before you clean them up from being put together. And afterwards, it's really easy. You'll be able to break them off the base pretty easy, and then make the base look nice or not. It's up to you. I usually like to try to make a base look pretty, but that is entirely up to you. So that is, what was that? 11? Yeah, issue 11. So 8 was the Overlord, which we have. Where'd he go? So yeah, so 8 was the Overlord, which we've done. And 11 is the Phobos Librarian, which we've just finished. And then comes 12, 13, 14, 15, which there's a bunch of stuff. So that'll be coming next.